student, welcome here. Unit number 5, this is Jodi's found that we are dealing, and we are at the last part of this unit. And this unit, as I told you, that divided into 3 sections, so we are dealing with third section. So you are requested to keep a book with you, and we are here on page number 91. Finally, Jodi just found that young deer, and now he was ready to carry that young deer in his hand and to go to his house. So okay, page number 90 and third paragraph. The fawn lifted its nose, scenting him. He reached out one hand and laid it on the soft neck. The touch made him delirious. Delirious means extremely excited. With the touch of Jodi, that fawn became excited. He moved forward on all fours until he was close beside it. He put his arms around its body. A light convulsion passed over it, but it did not stir. So when Jodi just touched the body of fawn, the young deer's body, at that time, one shivering came through his body, but he did not move. He stroked his sides as gently as though the fawn were a china deer and he might break it. So it means Jodi handled that young deer very carefully. A china deer means a clay deer that is easily broken. So he handled that deer very carefully, and he was very much concerned about that deer. Next line. He might break it. Its skin was very soft, it was sleek and clean and had a sweet scent of grass. So talking about the body of the deer, so its skin was very soft and it was sleek. Sleek means smooth and shiny. And had a sweet scent of grass. He rose slowly and lifted the fawn from the ground. Its leg hung limply. So finally he just raised, or he just lifted the fawn from the ground, and when he lifted, its leg hung limply. They were surprisingly long, and he had to hoist the fawn as high as possible under his arm. So that the legs of the fawn, young deer, was surprisingly very long. So Jodi had to hoist the fawn as high as possible under the arm. To hoist means pull up higher. He was afraid that it might kick and bleat at sight and smell of its mother. So Jodi was afraid that if that young deer smell the body of his mother, then it might be kicked. It might click Jodi. He skirted. Bleat means to make a natural sound of goat or sheep. He skirted the clearing and pushed his way into the thickest. Skirted means to pass. And thicket means a dense growth of trees. So he just passed the clearing and he pushed his way to the dense growth of trees. It was difficult to fight through with his burden. The fawn's leg caught in the bushes and he could not lift his own with freedom. So it was very much dense forest. That forest was very much dense. So it was difficult for Jodi to clear the way and to pass the deer from that dense forest. He tried to shield its face from prickling vines. Shield means to protect. And prickling vines means sharp thorn. So there was a thorn and there was some dense trees. So Jodi was protecting young deer from those thorns. He reached, its head bobbed with his stride, his heart thumped with the marvel of its acceptance of him. He reached the trail and walked as fast as he could until he came to the intersection with the road home. So here its head bobbed with his stride. Stride means a long step. So Jodi was walking very fastly and finally he reached to the trail, and after that he just there to way to his road of home. He stopped to rest and sat the fawn down on its dangling legs. So there he was very tired and he was stopped there and he just sat the fawn down on its dangling legs. Dangling legs means hang loosely. He put that young deer down on the ground and he rested for a while. It wavered on them. It looked at him and bleated. The young deer was not able to stand properly or steadily. So that young deer started wavering. Wavered means vibrate. And again it started bleating. He said, enchanted, I'll carry you after I get my breath. So Jodi was too tired, so he just consoled that young deer and told that he would carry him after he would take his breath. He remembered his father saying that a fawn would follow if it had first been carried. He started away slowly. So Jodi started slowly. He remembered one advice from his father that if we carry a fawn, he would surely follow us. So Jodi here started away slowly. The fawn started after him. He came back to it and stroked it and walked away again. So again Jodi started going away from the young deer. He came back to it and stroked it and walked away again. It took a few wobbling steps toward him and cried piteously. Means young deer was all alone in that place. Jodi didn't to take or carry that. He wanted to check that whether that young deer would follow him or not. So finally he just started running, walking, and young deer was there all alone standing. Young deer also tried to walk, but it was impossible for young deer to walk because there was a pain in his leg. You please note down this new word. After that I'll give you some more. It took a few wobbling step towards him and cried piteously. Wobbling means walk unsteadily. And piteously it means miserably. It was willing to follow him, it belonged to him, it was his own. He was light-headed with his joy. He wanted to fondle it to run. So now finally Jody was sure that now that young deer belonged to him. He was light-headed. It means unable to think clearly. He wanted to fondle it. It means to care, to love. He wanted to fondle him, he wanted to care him, to run and romp with it. Romp means play. To call to it to come to him. He dared not alarm it. Alarm means frightened. So he didn't want to frighten that young deer. He didn't want to threaten him. He just wants to love him. He just wants to run with him. He just wants to play with it. He dared not alarm it. He picked it up and carried it in front of him over his two arms. It seemed to him that he walked without efforts. So finally he picked up again and he was walking towards his home. His arms began to ache and he was forced to stop again. Jody's arm was paining now. When he walked on, the fawn followed him at once. Finally he put down that young deer on the ground, and young deer started following Jody. He allowed it to walk a little distance, then picked it up again. So it was his pain in arm, so he allowed young deer to follow him. After that he again picked up. The distance home was nothing. He could have walked all day and into the night, carrying it and watching it follow. He was wet with sweat, but a light breeze blew through the June morning, cooling him. So it was that Jody was too tired. So sweat was there on his all over the body, but the June blew wind just cooling him. The sky was as clear as spring water in a blue china cup. Sky was so clear He came to the clearing. It was fresh and green after the night's rain. So he fumbled with the latch and was finally obliged to set down the faunt to manage it. Then he had an idea. He would walk into the house, into Penny's bedroom. Finally, he was there into his house with that young deer, and he was walking directly to his father's room, with the fawn walking behind him. But at the steps, the fawn balked and refused to climb them. So finally, that fawn and that Jody both were there in the house, but at the place of step, the fawn balked. Balked means was unwilling to do, means fawn was not ready to enter into the house. He picked it up and went to his father's Penny, lay with closed eyes. So that fawn was not ready to enter into the house. So Jody picked it up and Jody presented fawn before his father. His father was laying on the bed with his closed eye. Jody called, "Pa, look." Penny turned his head. Jody stood beside him. The fawn clutched hard against him. It seemed to Penny that the boy's eyes were as delight as the fawn's. He said, "I'm glad you found him." So while that Jody said his father that, "Pa, look this, I am here with this fawn, with this young deer." So his father could see the brightness of that brightness in Jody's eyes as well as in young deer's eyes. Jody then went to the kitchen. The fawn wobbled after him. So Jody, after meeting with his father, Jody went to the kitchen and that young deer started following him. A pan of morning's milk stood in the kitchen safe. The cream had risen on it. He skimmed the cream into a jug. He poured milk into a small gourd. So now it's time to give milk to young deer. So finally Jody was preparing a milk for that young deer. He just poured milk into a small gourd, means one small bowl. He held it out to the fawn. He butted it suddenly, smelling the milk. So as soon as Jody just put that milk bowl before that fawn, that young deer, that fawn started smelling it. He saved it precariously from spilling over the floor. Precariously means steadily. Means that young deer was very much conscious about that milk. It could make nothing of the milk in the ground. He dipped his fingers in the milk and thrust them into the fawn's soft, wet mouth. So Jody just dipped his finger into that milk bowl and he was trying to feed that milk to that young deer with his finger. It sucked greedily. When he withdrew them, it bleated frantically and butted him. Finally, that young deer came to know that this milk was for him, and he just became mad and he started butting that milk. Butting that milk means he started drinking that frantically. Means lunatically. He dipped his finger again as the fawn sucked. He lowered them slowly into the milk. The fawn blew and sucked and snorted. So that fawn was started smelling that milk, and again he just tried, means that fawn was trying to drink that milk. It stamped its small hoofs impatiently. Hoofs means feet, or you can say foot. that fawn was so much weak. He was not able to even walk. So he stamped its small hoofs impatiently. As long as he held his fingers below the level of the milk, the fawn was content. So this way in the picture we can see that Jody was trying to feed the fawn the milk. It was ecstasy to feel its tongue against his hand. So Jody was so much happy. Jody was feel amazing when that young deer's tongue was touched to Jody's finger. So here we have one word, that is ecstasy. And ecstasy means great pleasure. Means he was very much happy when that young deer touched Jody's finger. Its small tail clicked back and forth, and that small tail of a young deer started moving. The last of the milk vanished in a swirl of foam and gurgling. Gurgling means bubbling. Means now that a young deer has finished all the milk and it was like bubbling, gurgling. So finally both, that Jody and young deer, both were comfortable with each other's company and both were very happy. You have some time to note down these new words. Please you note down this. Okay students, so this is for today's video. Here we have done many new words. So you have to write that new words in your homework. Okay, write down the new words which we have done today. So please take care yourself and thank you.